Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Roundtable. This is episode 85. Can you believe it? We're getting up there, and we're so glad you're here with us. You could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with us right now, and we appreciate that. We've got some people in the house showing love right now. Let's see, Ernesto, great show all the time. Thank you, Ernesto. We appreciate you. Denise, you got some fans in here, sis. I'm here supporting my homegirl, Denise Castillo. Thank you, Islos Carlos. We're going to bring in the blonde bombshell right now. 1 second. Okay. Mexicano. Okay. How do I get, I need to put my glasses on. How do I get an autograph from YouTube's biggest name, Denise Castillo? That's right. Let's ask her right now. Okay, guys, let's bring in the blonde bombshell herself, and you can ask her.
I got fans.
You got fans, girl.
Thank you, guys.
How are you?
I'm good, sis. How are you?
Good, doing good. Let's bring in our surprise guest that seems to show up for us every week. Let's see what he's got to say. Who is it? Who can it be?
Who could it be? Who could it be?
Hello, guys.
There he is.
How you doing?
A man of the hour.
That's
Good to see
right.
you guys. Hey, missed you guys last week, but I'm glad to be back.
Yes. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm better than last week. I tell you, it was like a little over, maybe about a 2 day kind of deal there, but
Yeah.
loaded up on meds and just got everything, So then we did the thing on Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
So I was still kind of, but I was I was on meds, but I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, but it was good. It was good to see you guys. How's everybody doing? Yeah, everybody in the chat as well.
Yes.
I see Denise has fans. Right on.
Yeah, they're lining up. They need their autograph.
Right.
That's right. Hola,
There you
hola.
go.
Good to see you guys.
There you go.
That's what's up. So let's just get kicked off with our weeks. Denise, what did you have going on this last week? Anything exciting you want to share?
This last week, what did I do?
I know, I'm trying to think.
You always come to me first, huh?
I go on the, you know what I mean?
Ladies first. Ladies first. So
what happened I know my husband was off on Monday. Sure. What did we do? I don't think we did anything this past weekend.
Yes, sir.
He's gonna kill me remembering, but right now I don't recall.
Well, just like a regular.
My mom. Was it Sunday or Monday that I went to see my mom? I believe it was Sunday.
Okay, cool. So family time. That's always a good
thing.
thing.
My mom. Yeah, she's doing better. She's doing a lot better.
That's good.
I'm glad trying to adjust to her whole situation that's going on with her right now. So
yeah, that's
coming along.
That's right. I hear you. Got to be there for our parents when we have them, for sure. Definitely. How about you, Fred? I mean, you were recovering this last week, but anything else going on with you?
Yeah, I went out for a little bit on the weekend, and then I kind of got sick again a little bit, but not too bad, and then just kind of recovered already. Like it just kind of, I'm still, but it's weird because I still feel a little bit weak. I don't know if I haven't gotten sleep or whatever it is, But I mean, I'm good though. I'm good as far as being, alert and everything else. So yeah. No, I went out for a little bit, and yesterday made dinner here at the house and stuff, and get everything going. I made some cut up steak, tomatoes, onions, and some chili, and some I made a pot of beans and tortillas. And why did I make the tortillas, guys? Because I
was about to say what?
Well, I roll them out like the state of Texas. If I do it with one hand, it's like okay. But I mean, no, but it was good with the queso fresco. It was awesome. Hey, what's up?
There's our brother Cholo Trucker in the house.
Yeah, and then we did on Thursday. We did the movies. If Jen saw the movies, which we had a great time again. I thought it was awesome.
I'm really enjoying that. I mean, I always feel super intimidated because you guys are like the movie stars.
The movie freaks.
Yeah. But I am like really enjoying learning about a lot of movies from you and Cholo Trucker on his channel Movies and Shows that I've never heard of before, or
Yeah.
maybe like I heard of them back in the day, or I might have forgotten. And I'm kind of like, okay, I need to revisit that or check out a movie I've never seen. Good.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Well,
interesting.
sometimes I have to rewatch them myself a little bit, and be like, oh, wait a minute, like just to kind of catch up a little bit and be like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's been a lot of fun. Yeah. What's good, Jesse Baca, Mr.
hey,
Goyle?
what's up, Mr. Goyle? Good seeing you.
Try to show my love and support and to send nothing but love, respect,
Nice.
blessings to everyone here. Yeah, yeah. We
Hey.
appreciate you.
Have you guys heard of that place called Jolly Bean?
What's good?
Oh, yeah.
Jesse?
Yeah, we went there on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Is that it's like the Filipino food, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, how
Yeah.
was it? I see it all the time on like social media.
Yeah, it's good. It was good. I don't eat chicken, but Melvin, they were like, yeah, it's good. It was good. Him and my daughter enjoyed that. I had the hamburger, and to me, the hamburger was good. It tastes like kind of like Wendy's to me. The hamburger. But yeah, we went there, and then I almost forgot we went shooting on Saturday as well.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
we went to a range, an indoor range right here by the house.
Nice. Okay.
Good.
Well,
But yeah, that place was pretty good, you guys.
what's it called again? Jolly.
Jolly.
Yeah.
What? How do you say it?
Jollibee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went like when my compadre bought the car. Remember a couple of weeks ago I told you guys?
Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
went to, we went to Jollibee's.
Oh,
And
shoot.
you know what? The spaghetti, even though it has
Without that spaghetti, you guys.
even though it has hot dogs in it and stuff, it's actually
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me of the SpaghettiOs in the can.
Yes,
from back in the
that's what
day.
Mouth said. Exactly. Because I looked at it, I'm like, wow, it's hot dog in it?
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
man. And
And
it had that sweet taste, like
yeah.
like
And then the chicken, the
ravioli.
spicy one is actually spicy though. But you know what? You gotta try. You have to try the mango peach pies
Okay.
at
Oh,
Jollibee. Oh, dude.
those were amazing. I took a bite of one of those.
Yes.
The
And then they have
fries?
the other one.
Those were good.
Yeah.
We
Mango
also got
peach.
the pineapple water.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The pineapple. Yeah.
That
And
and
then-
then I keep forgetting what that what is it called? It's that white spaghetti, like the white noodle.
Good to see you.
Oh, the
Pancit.
glass noodle thing, or
Pancit.
pancit. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That stuff that was good.
All right. So if that is, if anyone's wondering, I have never been there, but I see this place on like a bunch of the different I don't know, social media channels that do mukbangs or eating shows. Or I guess a lot of places talk about this spot,
Mhm.
and it's a Filipino like fast food chain, I think, and they
Correct.
specialize in fried chicken that's spicy, right? They
Well,
have
either spicy or original, spicy
okay.
or regular.
nice.
And the
we
closest
got the
one,
original.
Hey,
to,
Jojo.
I'm sorry. The closest one to us is in San Jose off of Tully Road.
Okay, so we
Almost
do
going
have
towards
one
the
up
beach.
here. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So we
Yeah,
have one. That's the closest one to us.
Yeah.
So that's the one we hit. There's actually only two of them in San Jose. To be honest, it's there's one by the Great Mall in Milpitas, and then there's the one on Tully. So the one on Tully is closer to us. You know what I mean? So we can
Yes.
just right there with the Chuck E. Cheese and the 2-story.
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, right there. Just,
Okay. Episode
Well,
8.
No, that place is. I wanted Pancit. That's why my daughter was like, "I know where to take you, Mom," and I was like, "Okay." So yeah,
No,
we ended up there. And,
yeah, no, it's pretty good. That's some pretty good. You know what? I bought some. I bought some chicken and I bought the spaghetti, and then I mean the portions are huge though.
Yeah, and they give
Because
you a
I
lot
said-
in the combo. They give you like a lot of things, right? We ended up with,
Yes, and then they give you the gravy.
yeah,
You know, the gravy with
I have
the
the side gravy.
mashed potatoes.
Okay.
And,
I like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Chicken and that. I'm a chicken like without the bone type person. Like I love chicken nuggets. Like I'll eat chicken like
Okay.
that, but not chicken on the bone. I just don't. I never like that.
You don't like it?
I think because my mom, my mom made this soup out of little chicken drumsticks.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
It almost looked like mole, but it wasn't. It was more like the enchilada sauce type.
Oh, okay.
she would make that over like beans and rice or whatever. And
Hmm.
I mean, my mom cleaned that. She would show me like,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm like, oh no, like ever since then, you guys, I
You can't
can't
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah, they get it. I remember my grandma would do that too, like get it down to take the gristle and everything off the bone.
Yes. So
And I
anyway,
chew
now that
the
I'm older, I
like
just
I used to freak out on that too. Like, what the heck?
Right?
They on the gristle. Yeah, you know what? I was gonna mention too though when I went to Jollibee's, I was bringing spaghetti for somebody else, right?
uh-huh.
And for myself. So I bought some chicken and I said, okay, can you give me a spaghetti? And then the lady says, well, she goes, you want a small or a medium or the large? And I said, well, let me get a medium one or whatever, right? She goes, that feeds uh 3 to 4 people, right? I said, no. And I said, well, give me 2 mediums, right? Because it
Uh-huh.
feeds it's for somebody else. She goes, well, I can give you one that feeds up to 8 people, like the big old thing, right? I said, well, no, because it wasn't for me. I was going to
Yeah.
split it.
Yeah.
And my compadre says, you're going to eat all of it. And I was like,
Right.
What?
but that's how we get along. We were just joking.
Yeah.
I was like, like, really, dude? Like, okay, whatever.
You gotta
But
play,
no,
right?
yeah. But yeah, but you know what? It's not the greatest. I'm not gonna say, oh my god, it's just, but it is good.
Yeah,
You know,
it was different.
yeah,
It was good. It was
different.
different. With like mind you, we used to put hot dogs on everything.
Yeah.
Egg, rice with even that with spaghetti.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, not sausage, not hot dogs, but sausages, right?
Yeah. And it's not just the chicken hot dogs, like the cheap. It's some pretty good hot dogs actually that they have in there. It's not just like an all beef,
Okay.
But yeah, it's not.
You gotta try it,
Not
sis.
too shabby.
It's
Yeah,
good.
now I want to try it. I mean, I've been wanting to try it because like I said, I've seen it over and over. And there's a girl that I see on TikTok. She's in Hawaii, but there's a big Asian influence, obviously, in Hawaii, in the islands. And she goes to this place a lot, Jollibee's. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try that place one time. I didn't realize we had one in San Jose. So
Yeah, I tell you, Jen, it's right there, right off of Tully Road, going towards East Ridge.
what's good?
Yeah,
Steve,
yeah,
good
right
to
off
see you,
of Tully
brother.
Road.
Okay, I know right where
Okay,
to go.
it is.
Yeah, you gotta try it, and then
Yeah.
let us know what you think of it.
Yes,
It was
I
good.
definitely
It was
will.
It is.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I will not be donating today because Denise told me not to.
Hey, you know what? You know what?
Strange, stop! You can't even play like that. Don't.
I'll get up to Jollibee's, guys, but they close at 9, so I might just take off right after this. No, not for real. Yeah, it's about an hour and a half.
Hey,
It's about an hour and a half
you'll
for me.
pass me by on your way. You drop me some off.
Right, I'll just go by like, "Hey, let's go. Well, yeah.
What is that called? What is that called?
Yeah, what is that called? That plate. You know what though? The spaghetti like that. Thank you, Jojo, for sharing that. The spaghetti with the sausage. Well, he didn't like it with hot dogs, but my girl's dad, he used to like spaghetti with cut up like kielbasa sausage in it. I never liked it, but
I do too.
I would make it for them. And my girls, my older girls, they still like that. But
Yeah, I'd go for that.
yeah. The
I would like
city.
it.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Jojo. That was a story. That was what he that was a horror story.
Right?
Man. I get triggered with that.
With what? The meal?
Little drumsticks. I get all like, ooh, like my mom.
You know what?
Really? You have like a
My
PTSD?
girls, yes. My girls know me like with chicken. I clean all my meat, whatever I make. But when I'm making something with chicken and I'm taking it off the bone, I literally have to take out any little, not to be, graphic if people get weirded out, tendon or vein, or like I have to make sure there's nothing on there because I don't want to bite into something that does not look like it's just chicken meat,
Yeah.
I'm very specific with how I prepare food that I give to other people too.
No, right? It's yeah. Well, you know what? I wish I had that problem.
Right.
Oh, man.
You know what else my mom gave us a lot was pancakes. So I don't do pancakes.
Okay.
I just
You
feel
know
like
what? Yeah. You know what? I can't. It's not my thing. Pancakes aren't my thing. I'll tell you what. Like everybody talks about, oh yeah, pancakes and this and that.
mhm.
I'm really picky when because I'm not a breakfast guy. I'm just kind of like more. I'll have dinner at 7 o'clock in the morning. It'll be, I'm not a breakfast guy. I'm not into the papas and eggs and burrito. Like a
Oh,
breakfast
that
food like
sounds
that.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
just not like that. But I'll tell you what. Like even. But to me, honestly, and I don't get them. I just like if somebody in the family gets them and then they leave half of it or whatever, or a little quarter of it, I'll eat that little piece, of pancakes. But if anywhere, over any other place, to me, and at least in my own personal opinion, hands down, Denny's has the best pancakes.
Really?
To me,
Okay.
in my opinion, yeah.
Guess what else Denny's has that's up
Oh
there?
no.
Ranch, ranch.
Biscuits and gravy. The
Oh,
biscuits
okay,
and gravy
okay.
there,
They
bomb.
I was gonna
do?
say the, I was
Oh
gonna say
my
the
god!
ranch. Oh,
And
the
I've
ranch,
tried them.
man. Okay, you know what, guys?
I've tried them some places, and
we're getting hungry here. I'm like, man, let's just.
yeah, where's the food? For
Okay. I
real
didn't
though.
realize they had biscuits and gravy there. I haven't been to Denny's in years, honestly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What's good, Droops? Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you,
That's
Drew.
crazy. I had pancakes and French toast this morning. Says
Hey,
Mike
man.
Trucker. Damn, that
Yeah.
sounds
Oh yeah.
good. Pancakes and French toast?
Yeah,
Damn.
that's a weird combo. Wait a minute.
Hey, but you know what? This guy works out like an animal,
Oh
man.
yeah.
He's just like a beast,
Yes.
It's like that,
I know.
I,
It's
you
always
know,
on beast mode.
it's like, dude, he
Always on beast mode.
he works that off. I'm sure he worked that off before
Oh
noon.
yeah,
I mean, really, it's
for
like,
sure.
man.
Yeah, for
For
sure.
sure. But
I
you
don't
know
know what
what?
else
When I
you
do
guys.
have pancakes, it's rare. I
Mhm.
prefer waffles over pancakes. But if I
Okay,
do
man.
have waffles, I want it with fresh sliced strawberries.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I gotta
No,
dip
yeah.
my waffle in the syrup. I don't want syrup poured on and saturated and making
Oh,
my
yeah. And it
waffle
got funny.
soggy. I'm picky
That's
like
so
that.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not too much of a sweet stuff in the morning like that. I feel
Yeah.
sluggish and I get a headache. I feel like, oh,
See,
so
that's why I
I
said like it's
can't do it.
rare. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, now at Denny's you get pancakes, or even at IHOP they make them, with cherries, with strawberries, with blueberries. They have so many different.
Yeah.
Oh my god! It's
I
like,
got
where's the pancake at? But
right. I got pancakes at IHOP one time. This was a long time ago when they had that one right there by the post office in Salinas.
Oh, it's still there,
And
right?
is it
Yeah.
still there? See, that shows you how long I have
Right,
not gone.
right
And
across
I
from
remember,
Sonic in the corner.
okay,
Yeah.
I bit into the pancake and I pulled something out, and there was like plastic inside of it. Like
Oh,
they
wow.
had cut the corner of the mix or something, and it went in the pancake
oh
mix.
no,
I was so
Oh, wow.
traumatized. I never went back.
Yeah. You know what? I had a bad experience in that very place as well. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
see, there you
bad kid,
go.
but yeah. But yeah,
yeah,
I never went back either. And then there was
yeah.
just, yeah. Yeah. So,
Isn't
yeah.
it crazy
I'll
when
be
you
like
find
that. I
something
don't want to
like
bash them, man. I don't want to bash them.
Right.
No, yeah.
I
There's a
know.
taco spot that I've been wanting to try. My daughter and her guy went, and he found a piece of metal. It had to do with, like you're saying, like a mixture of something. Like he took it literally out of his mouth. It was a piece of. He's like, they have to go. They have to be missing this. Like they know it went somewhere,
Yeah.
but it landed in in his food.
Oh,
It was a
He
metal.
didn't tell them. He didn't tell. I go, why didn't you tell them, dude? They would have. They had to have noticed
yeah.
that was missing. It's a part of a piece of a.
Yes. See, I think I shared this one time. There was one of my, it was like a account coordinator who had when I worked in cosmetics at Macy's, and she was saying in Carmel somewhere, she was eating a croissant and she bit down on something hard, and it was like a bolt. So it must have been from the machinery that mixed, the dough or something.
Oh
And
man!
she cracked her tooth in half. She had to get like a root canal.
Wow.
Oh,
She
wow.
made sure. Oh, she made sure they paid for it too.
Yeah.
Well, of
I
course.
think I told you. I don't know if I told you guys, but Melvin did the same thing. You know those Bar S hot dogs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So those Bar S hot dogs pretty much was what we could afford at the time. So we used to buy Bar S stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he bit into a hot dog and it had a bone and it chipped his whole tooth. So we went to the dentist. He had to go, like, we went to the dentist and they were charging like $5,000. He ended up going to Mexico and paying like $500, you guys.
No way.
Yeah.
For a crown? Like a
He had to have his whole tooth like
yeah.
redone.
Oh wow.
He bit into that. He bit just biting in a hot dog.
And
He's
like,
like, don't ever buy this again. I'm like, heck no, $500 for that damn hot dog? Hell no.
Oh, man.
But it could happen, you know, it happens.
yeah. It could happen to any brand that could happen. It's
Yeah.
just crazy. It's crazy. We're like traumatizing ourselves again.
Like, man, I'm just
Right?
Dang, no, but yeah, you guys, it's crazy. You gotta
Yeah.
watch out, you know.
Right. If you guys are tapping in just now, give us a thumbs up. Help us get this stream out there. And if you could share our live, I would really appreciate it. We would all appreciate it. Help us connect to more people. That is what I like so much.
Yes.
So let's see. What did
you know what? Before we go on, do you guys have like this certain thing you don't eat because like you ate it a lot as a kid, or certain place you don't go because you went a lot as a kid? Like, let us know in the comments too.
You know,
I don't know.
That's a good one.
From that problem.
Okay, so I can relate to this because the reason why, like, I overindulged in this one time when I was a kid and I made myself sick on it. So now it grosses me out. My mom made peanut brittle one time when we were we're kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't, I don't know, whatever, it was back before my dad got a good job. So we didn't have like a lot. So I remember just thinking, I'm not going to get this ever again, probably. I made myself sick eating that stuff.
Oh, no.
And like now the thought of it still grosses me out so bad. Like, I'll make it for other people, but when I look at it or even smell it, it's so weird. It like takes me right back to that like 6 or 7 year old little girl. Yeah.
Wow. Right. Yeah, you know what? I wish they had something like that other than like alcohol or something. But yeah, I don't suffer from that. It's pretty evident. No, you know what? I'm far from a picky eater. I mean, but you know what? I mean, I don't. Yeah, there's just stuff. Yeah, I won't go to it. I won't. I mean, I'll eat it, but it's not like. Like I said, the eggs and potatoes and stuff, like breakfast stuff, I really don't. Yeah, I could survive off, without eating eggs. Like, everybody was, oh my God, eggs are expensive. Like, big deal. Like, whatever,
Yeah,
I'm just, I gotta really want or crave it.
Yeah.
really want to eat it.
Yeah.
Prince W. Wilson says ketchup on Wonder Bread. Times as a kid. Okay, never again. Hustle and motivate.
Wow.
I hear you. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Oh no, that's right. Yeah, there's always something, I guess, that's just a certain thing that we just. I don't eat bologna or ramen. Raw ramen. Yeah, remember that? We would crunch up the ramen.
I'll tell you what. I prefer bologna over ham on a sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, all beef bologna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do bologna, do it all beef, right? Better than mixture of whatever the mystery meat bologna.
Right? And be like, well.
Yeah.
You know what?
The saying in what was the movie with John Candy, right? They're camping. Do you remember what he told his kids hot dogs were made out of?
No.
What movie is this? Not Uncle Buck. What? No, it's not.
Not that one. Remember, he's camping with his brother-in-law. That's like a scammer.
I remember that one. Yeah, and the sister-in-law.
What is it called?
Yeah.
No. The Great Outdoors. No,
that's it, right? The Great Outdoors.
Yes, it was the Great Outdoors.
Of course, the Great Outdoors. And he's telling they're talking and they're like, what is, what are hot dogs made out of? And he's like, lips and a,
Oh,
I won't say the word, and I remember thinking that, oh my gosh, I was like, is that true? And I was looking at the back of the package and it was a little sketch what's on there. So I don't know.
yeah.
I think it's probably true.
Yeah.
Right? True. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what he did. I love that movie. I could watch that over and over and over.
Yeah. A lot of John Candy movies are
Yes. I love John Candy movies.
I know, me too.
I loved Uncle Buck too. Talk about pancakes.
Yeah.
Remember the pancakes in that movie?
Oh yeah, the big old pancake in the thing.
Yeah.
The one of the ones that I know from him was Who's Harry Crumb? When he played the detective. God, he was just a he's just a guy that happened to stumble.
Right, there's our brother Firme too, right there. So Little's a
Hey, good to see you, man. Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you. God
I know. Good to see you.
Ooh, okay, this is a good one. Cultura. What smell irritates you? There's got to be a certain scent or smell that triggers you.
What
That's a
smell?
good one.
Oh wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, there is.
The smell of cumin. I love. It doesn't bother me, but I love the smell of cumin.
Okay.
Tell me why first, and then I got something to say on that.
You know what? Probably because my mom would make her albondigas. She put cumin in them.
Okay.
And that just reminds me of a cold, winter night that you would have caldo, or you would have albondiga soup. And okay, that's all I got. What do you got?
Okay.
On that?
Right, Jojo.
As far as food related, you mean a smell? Food related?
Anything.
It could be anything.
There's a certain scent or a smell that just that ain't it.
You know what? I'll put it to you this way: the one that's kind of bothers me a little bit, but it's not to the point where it's like, oh my god, but it's kind of whoa is menudo.
Really?
Is
Okay.
When you first make it?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's like wow, man, like
First boiling it down.
I was just talking about that with Melvin the other day because his grandparents used to make it, and that smell of them cooking and he was like, tripe, it's tripe. And I go, well, isn't that pork lining of pork stomach?
It's the stomach.
And he said, no, it's beef. Tripe is the beef. And I said, no, it's freaking pork.
Yeah.
But he looked it up and it was, it just depends on how you.
I think it's a cow. I've always used cow stomach, but.
Right. I thought it was too. I thought it was.
Yeah.
Pork too. You could use
the honeycomb or whatever thing, the lining of the
sardines.
Yeah. But that, I get that.
Yep. That's a good one. Sardines. It's a strong, pungent.
Yeah.
And the same with that cooking process when you're first boiling it down. Yeah. It can go bad real quick. The thing with cumin, I have a cousin that we don't talk, but back in the day, that was his nickname. We would call him Comino because he always smelled like cumin. Shout out Comino.
Shout out Comino. Comino. What are you wearing, Comino?
But oh my gosh, he just smelled like it was coming out of his pores.
Really?
So, yes. No. I don't know why, but I saw him at a funeral recently and just we walked past each other. Boom. I smelled it. I wanted so bad to turn around and say, hey, Comino. No, it would have been on in the funeral home. So
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah, you do.
That natural, the natural smell of him, I guess. It's just
I
was taking garlic pills, and I swear it was coming out of my pores.
Oh yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really comes out of your pores. Yeah.
Garlic is very, very pungent,
White diamonds perfume.
Go ahead, Jen.
Jojo says white diamonds perfume.
Oh wow.
Cumin diamonds.
That one can be because there's a few fragrances that scarred me from when I worked at Macy's, and that's one of them that the ladies who loved it,
Oh,
they would drench themselves in it, like
yeah.
heavy duty. And
yeah.
I don't even know if anyone will remember this one because it's probably like underneath in the drawers. Like you have to be an OG to know this.
Oh,
But, right? The Estee Lauder used to. Even the color of the fragrance is like black coffee. So you know it's going to be strong.
Ooh.
Estee Lauder used to. Ooh.
I think that Avon lady smelled like the Liz
Strong.
Taylor. The Liz Taylor one? Elizabeth Taylor?
Yes.
Yeah. She used to. Wow.
That's right. Oh. Let's see. Kultura, you're coming through with some good ones for us right now. That's good, though.
What else you got? What
sound books, Joe? Or triggers, Joe? You know what? Bad rap. Like today's rap.
Right?
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm an old school. It's got to be good, man. It's got to make you kind of, and don't do that. It doesn't do that. It doesn't do that.
You're like this.
Good evening, Shay.
Yeah, like
I can't get into the rap today.
Right? Fairway tube, pew pew sound. Yeah.
Very few.
Yeah, not to change the subject, but real quick, my brother gave me a CD and a cassette player, Sony radio. Just to show you guys, man. It's in the other room, but I was like, man, now I could bring out all my CD because I thought my new car would have a CD player, but it doesn't. So that But no, everything's on the phone. You gotta I don't know. It's just so it's not cool when you're driving. To hear some good music, right? So I broke out my CD thing, and we're out there listening to some CDs, and I've run into a few rap CDs that I have.
Oh yeah, no.
Old stuff, and man, I was like, hey, if it only sound like that today,
Right.
Yeah, you know what? I played an album, and I mean, some people will know what this is. The Twins, and it's called the album. The title of the album is called Conversation. It's a rap album from the G Funk with Warren G and all that. And I played it, and I was about four or five songs in, and I was like, man, what happened? Like it was good music. Like it just made you feel good. It wasn't all gangster. But it was just like, man, what happened to the music? It's like, man, this is crazy.
Right. Damn, I know that's right though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what? What sound gets me every time?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say which one, but I recently was just passing through my channels that were recommended, and I heard it being used. But it's when it's overused. Those soundboards when they're like and like start doing the
yeah.
I'm like, son of a gun. Let the guy finish talking before. I mean, this dude was just hitting the switches on that thing. Like, okay, I get it. You never had one, or I don't know what it is. Those things get old real fast.
Yeah. When it drowns out the sound of somebody, right? It's just like when you're trying to hear something.
When someone's having a conversation and the person starts to answer, and then the host hits it before they even finish, and you're like, I can't even sit here through this because I can't listen to his interview. So can't do it.
That's funny, you guys.
I know. I'll tell you.
Good stuff, right? Oh my gosh. So we're not going to play the video because it was actually very disturbing, but I did send it to you guys earlier. And this is a weird situation because there's this video that went viral recently, and it was of a vet, but like a vet that treats horses and large animals. And so recently he went viral he was caught on, camera, like the lady who was the owner of the horse was recording him because he like violently kicked her horse in the face. And he was supposed to be there, right, to be giving them their shots and treating them. But you guys saw that. Wasn't that like
Yeah, that
really
was
vicious
Yeah, you know what? And just to explain to everybody else, because they'll be like, "Well, man, that must have been a high kick." No, the horse was actually down.
on the
He,
ground?
he was laying down, and he was trying to get up, and I guess the horse wasn't trying to get up, and he just like with boots, obviously, and he just kicked him right in the bottom of the chin. He's so the
yeah.
horse kind of moved back. I felt bad. I was like, yeah, yeah. Anyways, go ahead, guys. I just wanted to describe that to the
No,
people
Yeah,
listening.
to give everyone an
that's so
idea.
sad.
It was sad. And then to just give everyone a little bit of so basically that horse was considered a baby still. They call it a colt. So it was under a year old. And he was there to give it its shots and things. And the lady said she had already seen him hit her horse once or twice. So she felt the need to bring out her phone to record it because she was like in shock. She had used this guy before for her horses and never had that problem. But here's the weird thing. So it's crazy because all of a sudden this veterinarian that kicked the horse and went viral is now missing.
Oh no.
And nobody knows where he is, and people are thinking the worst. Now they interviewed the lady who recorded him assaulting her horse, and she's like, I didn't want this to happen, if that's what people are asking, but it's just crazy the coincidence of the video going viral of him assaulting the horse, and then all of a sudden he's missing now and like reported. It's a very suspicious situation. Like, where is he at?
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't think that he saw the video and then like is hiding himself?
I definitely think that's
that's
a high chance. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, animal abuse, that's the worst. I can't stand people that would harm an innocent animal. That's terrible.
Well, they said that the horse suffered too, right? Something from the kick.
Right.
There was a hard
He
kick.
had a mark. He had a mark on his face. That's really, and to be able to do that to a horse, their skin and fur is tough. They're made to be durable animals. So he had to have kicked it really hard.
Damn,
You know what? I'm like I told you guys, and when you shared it earlier, I seriously, and I'm not even lying, I seriously went and hugged my dogs. I felt so bad for the horse. I'm like, I know the guy's missing, but I really felt bad for the horse. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I hugged my dogs. I said, man, that's just, they're animals. They're animals. They depend on us humans to feed them and give them water and take them out and do all this other stuff. And why would anybody,
Right.
mistreat an animal? I don't care the size of the animal, whatever it is. You don't do that.
Right.
3D
Prince W. Wilson says that boy took off and is hiding like a coward.
Well, you know what? That'd be a good thing if that's what happened, because I wouldn't like to think anything else if that's the case. But
right.
I mean, you know what? Let's be honest about it, guys. There's people. You hurt somebody's animal, it can get serious.
That's right. And like
the headless horseman got him.
Yes, Joe Tracy says the 4 horsemen got him. People don't play about their animals, but in particularly just knowing, from growing up around horse people, they take very seriously their pets, their animals. They love their horses. So I know there's people that will be willing to do some damage over something like that. Good to see you, Margaret. So I don't know. It's crazy, but Harvey Talks Prison. Good to see you. How are you, Harvey? Good to see you. It's been a minute.
No, I mean, I would go crazy if somebody hit my puppy like that. Oh no, like.
Yeah, you don't do that to an animal, man. Like I've seen people mistreat dogs and stuff too. It's like, dude, like, where do you get them?
Yeah,
why do you get these things? If you're gonna do that to them, I mean, I don't think that's not even, again, they're helpless. They
they're
helpless.
There was there was like an incident I saw as a child, and I won't describe it in detail because it's disturbing. But a neighbor across the street was like harming their dog, and I loved animals since I was little.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My dad walked over there. I mean, as calm as he can be, and knocked that guy to the ground
Nice.
and told him, "Hey, how does it feel? How does it feel?"
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
you
No,
shouldn't.
yeah.
You shouldn't. I'm not promoting violence, but that's how my dad would have handled someone
Yeah.
doing that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If your
You know,
dog saw a horse stomp down on a human, would the dog give you a hug, Fred?
yeah, yeah, you would.
Only
Yeah, you
Noah
would.
Tucker would ask this question.
Yes, you would.
I
Toby the
think he
Tooth
would.
will.
I
Yeah,
think he
you
would.
will. You would. You would. You know, it's just
Right?
I don't know, man. It's just I think it's just sickening for that to be with people. I've seen, I mean, come on, like there's just I mean, and I also believe there's certain animals that are not pets,
Okay.
such as the tiger and so on and so forth. Well,
Yes.
things are not, they're not for look at Siegfried and Roy, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's just, but I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think, yeah, I think animals is just it's a different thing. It's a different
Yeah.
thing with animals. I mean, and and
Definitely.
and, and is it just me, guys, or is it? We could watch things like the show like Jackass and stuff, where these guys are hurting themselves and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it's a difference when you see that and you say, well, you're human, you know what you're doing, you're capable of knowing what you're doing. An animal is not, you know,
Right.
Mhm.
I don't know.
And
I
they
think it's
don't
different.
even, yeah, they're just hopeless. It's like, it's sad.
So,
There's no other word for it. Just messed
yeah.
up that people could, I mean, look, they do it to humans. They have those type of people have no heart. They have no heart
Yeah.
to hurt
Yeah.
somebody else,
Right.
to hurt somebody for no reason.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
I want to highlight this comment for a minute. Strange Day
Mhm.
says, horses are a magnificent animal, truly wonderful creatures of the Most High. They are. Guys, I have
Yeah.
had like a serious connection with a few horses throughout my life that
Mm.
just feel, I mean, it's like how some people are with their dog. They are very connected to your feelings.
Yeah.
And legit, these few horses that I had, I felt like could feel when I was like feeling down or sad, or
Yeah.
they really were. And
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
therapy. They are therapy. Horses are
Yeah.
therapy. Like
They are.
we have horses up here by my house, and they're trained. They train
They're
them.
used for therapy
Therapy.
for people with disabilities, for
Yeah.
children who have certain mental and learning disabilities and setbacks. They're used even in some prison settings. Horses are used as a part of the therapy to, help people learn compassion and empathy.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
But with
well,
that said, I want to ask this question real quick.
Hmm.
You
Uh-huh.
were bringing up that animals are innocent and something about when things happen to animals compared to humans.
uh-huh.
Does it bother you more to see something happen to an animal than it does to a human?
I'll be perfectly honest. Yes, it
Really?
does. It really does. It really does. I mean, no. Well, let me put it to you this way. I mean, if I see somebody like what's happened now, to where people are just road raging and stuff, that's a whole different story. Because
Yeah.
sometimes unfortunately, it involves children.
Yeah.
Or if I'm going somewhere, and I've had friends of mine who were, unalived by a drunk driver and stuff. Like,
Mhm.
so, yeah, in that sense. But to an animal, I mean, I think it just hits a little different though, because again, I say it in the sense of a human being beating
Okay.
on an animal is the same thing as a human being beating on, for example, a child or something like that. Then that'd be a different story. But yeah, I gotta, yeah. But it does bother me just the same,
Yeah.
And I will say this before we get into that. My dog, the dog I had before the other weenie dog I had, and I've showed you guys pictures of Jada Pinkett Smith. She looked just like Max.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got her. We saved her. She was in the back of a truck in a garage for like, I believe it was 2 weeks when we got her,
Oh wow.
and she was already kind of. She was still a puppy, but still kind of grown and stuff
Mhm.
when we got her. And then we brought her home, and she was just infested with fleas.
Oh,
So we bathed her and everything. Never trained her a day in her life. From the very moment that we got her, she was listening to everything that we would say to her, like, and she just like picked it up, picked it
hmm.
up. And one time, and I'll make this real quick. My I was asleep in the other room, and then the dog was barking at the door, and I was like, "What the heck?" So I got up to go. I thought she wanted to go outside. Well, she led me to my mom's room. And there I go into the room, I see my mom on the ground, sitting on her butt, she fell.
Oh shoot.
He said
No
that the
way.
dog circled her and she said, "Go call Fred." Go. She told me in
No.
Spanish, and the
Mhm.
dog went and got me. You know,
Wow.
it just animals are amazing. If you really think about it, they're very grateful. When animal, you can be mad. I get mad at my dog sometimes. And,
Yeah.
you got to talk to them like kids. Like, hey, I said no. That's how I talk to the dogs. And
Yeah.
then sometimes they don't listen, like Max, Max. But anyways, uh, but but you know what? You can be mad at them, and they can kind of like look at you like, oh shoot, like he's serious,
Mhm.
and they'll love you just the same.
Yep.
In
Yeah,
in in,
that's true. That's
They
in 2
make
seconds,
you feel guilty, huh? I mean, y'all think.
right.
yeah. In two
That's
seconds,
true.
they'll love you again, like without and hold no grudge towards you, like a
Right.
human being would.
They
I mean, so
forgive. Yes, they forgive almost instantly, huh?
yeah,
I
yeah,
know. I know.
yeah.
Harvey, that's funny you mentioned this because earlier when I was looking at my phone, they have it now like on maybe just on the phone. I'm not sure. It gives you the option when you go live. It tells you actually set a goal. And I was like, oh, let me put, I don't know, help me get to 3,000 subscribers because I'm getting close.
Yeah.
But it
Uh-huh.
doesn't allow you to do that. It only allows you to put goals for super chats. So like,
Oh,
but thank you, Harvey. Harvey says, Jen, see, you're getting close to 3,000. Keep it up.
nice,
Thank you.
nice,
If you guys are not subscribed, subscribe. Now that you're here,
nice.
show some love.
Yeah.
And subscribe to Fred's channel too. And
Yeah,
subscribe,
please.
tap
I'm
in
like
that love.
something short now of 1,000. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
You
So
are.
eventually, something.
I got to go back up here real quick because he
Yeah.
just
Okay. So
stays
Fred
coming
picked site.
through.
Did you guys?
Go ahead.
Huh? Did you look over that story, sis?
Which
Oh,
one?
The little girl at her mom's gravesite.
I've seen that video, but go ahead. Were you going to share it?
Yeah, I was speaking about like piggybacking off
Mhm.
what Fred said about the dog calling you to your mom. Like
uh-huh.
I believe in this so much, but I believe that kids and babies have that gift of like seeing our angels or like spirits. Like I
Mhm.
believe that. I guess because I've had so many like okay, so back up a little bit. Growing up, I had this friend that used to go to school with us, and he was
Good for you.
a gypsy, and his mom was a palm reader. She actually had a business
Uh-huh.
in the city where we used to live, and she would read palms.
Mhm.
So growing up with that and seeing that she was full of crap, got revealed because he was such a friend, like a friend of ours. So we would like hang out, and he would
Yeah.
tell us about his household, right? So,
Mhm.
anyways, being that that kids do the same, like they do that, the children really see. I believe that they do, and she was blowing kisses to her mom, like saying bye to somebody, and whoever was with her, I don't know if it was her aunt, sister, I don't know who was with the little girl, but
Yeah.
they were filming her, and she was blowing kisses to somebody and saying bye, bye and
Yeah.
stuff. The girl was
And
like, wow, she's
she
seeing her
even
mom.
leaned in for a
She's bye
kiss,
her mom.
like the kiss on the lips. She even leaned in for the kiss, and then she was saying bye and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, yeah. I saw that. Like it's funny because, well, not funny, but what I was gonna say to what you're saying though, Denise.
Uh-huh.
There's no way. no way a child, what was she, maybe like 2 years old, if that,
It was little.
that would that would be rehearsed in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
That was natural. That was as real as it gets. I mean, that was like,
Yeah.
wow. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So no, that's all. That's all I had to say
But
about that.
this is
But
a video that they're talking about. If you guys missed it, that I remember seeing this a while back. It was viral, and it was like you said, it was a little girl. Who was it that took her to her mom's grave? Like the grandparents or the dad or
No,
I'm
the
not.
girl. A lady was talking, so I don't know if it was her. I don't know, her guardian and her sister or aunt. I
so
don't
the
know.
little girl was like reacting to
Yeah.
something that was not visible to us, but
Right.
to her, there was clearly something visible there, and it was very touching. This video, I mean,
Yeah, she didn't mention no names. She just like they were at her mom, the little girl's mom's gravesite, and
yeah,
she stood on her grave and
Typical,
was
yeah,
just
like
like blowing kisses
lean
and saying
forward.
bye.
Mhm.
And I was
They
like,
were, they were about to leave. That's why, and she was
Yes,
like, "That's when."
yeah.
Yeah.
like say good. Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
I
gosh,
mean, I
that
don't know.
was
What do you guys believe in that? Like, I believe, like I said, I believe children, like kids, I believe that they see spirits, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'd call it spirits, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
I'll go
angels. Like
with
we do. It says in the Bible that we entertain angels, so we have to be careful. Even like I told you guys before, how we treat people. You never know. You just never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So like, treat everybody with love and kindness, and
Group says yes.
that's a whole different thing. But
What do
I
you
believe,
think, Fred?
What?
You think
You know what? Again, going back to that, I think again for her, a child, there's no way that could have been rehearsed.
yeah,
And anyway, that was a natural thing they caught on camera. You know, um, I do believe, like Denise, I think that that kids are excuse me, do have the capability to connect with the other side, if you will.
uh-huh. That's
Excuse me. And I know that hey, um, um I think that that it's like you guys are familiar with the film the Polar Express, where as the guy got older, a lot of kids couldn't hear the bell. It's
yeah.
kind of the same difference. It's as we get older, you know,
You kind of
we
lose
get
that
corrupted
magic
in
a
life.
little.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then we get corrupted into, learning to hate somebody, and I hate to say the word hate, you
Guys.
know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we learn to, like, like, oh, I don't like that person or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just get corrupted with life and we
Right.
lose that. But I think that, again, it all goes back, and I don't want to get into the scientific thing, but they say we only use 10% of our mind, So I
Mhm.
believe that, like, again, and like I said before, love is a natural, it's an inborn reaction. It's natural.
Mhm.
Hate, you can learn to hate somebody,
Yeah.
The hate is
especially
hot.
when people get together and be like, oh, and that's how it starts, and then it's just, and it goes in, it goes into, when it goes into, even into lies and stuff like that, where they start to believe their own lies after a while.
Right.
It just gets evil. So going back to everything, yeah, I agree with Denise that a child, is capable of seeing that,
Mhm.
and yeah, I mean, there's no ifs ands or buts about it to me in that video whatsoever. There's another one where
Mm.
a lady, she's telling the kid bye or something, or to spin the windmill, and there was no wind, and the windmill's spinning, and it's the
I
same thing
saw
like a
that
lady.
one too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
saw
I
that
believe,
one too.
yeah, I believe it. I want to see, yeah. I will,
Okay.
that's
What
my
kind?
thing.
Yeah. I seen that one too, and it's interesting. What kind do you suggest, Cultura? Let me know in the chat. So I have a
What Trucker said? Did you hear? Did you read what he said?
No.
so this one's he's referring back to pets. I had two comments that I want us to swing back to in regards to pets. So give me 1 second. Let me just say this while we're on this topic, and then we'll jump back to this. So I had an experience as a young child where I'm conflicted about it because
Uh,
I don't know. I used to say for sure, like, yes, I saw my great grandmother. She spoke to me, and I still that was my experience in the kitchen of the little tiny house my brother and I were raised in for the first 10 years of our life.
mhm.
And it was right after she passed away. I was like 7 or 8 years old, so I wasn't allowed to go to her service. They thought I was too young. It would be upsetting to me. And I remember I prayed that night, and I prayed that God would let me see her and know that she was okay. Because I couldn't, I was a kid. I didn't understand. What do you mean she's not here? I don't get it.
Yeah.
So I woke up in the middle of the night and I was thirsty. And, back in the day, we used to drink from the faucet. So I walked into the kitchen, got a glass, turned the water on. And from the side, I saw like something bright, like bright light, and it caught my attention. So I turned, and like there was this beam of light coming down through the ceiling of the living room in this tiny house. And my grandma was standing there, little, 4'10", 4'11", my great grandma rather.
Yeah.
And there was like a larger figure with the arm around her, and I could tell by the physique it was a male, but I couldn't see the face. And my great grandma told me, "Baby, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm with Jesus now." And I remember I ran and told my mom right away. Like, that's how real it was. And I explained it like word for word, what I saw, what I felt. But then, some people later on in life told me, like, no, that can't be. Like, if you saw that, it had to be something demonic. Like, God doesn't allow us to see our loved ones. It made me feel conflicted. Like, well, did I really see her? Did I really but I vividly remember this place. So I think that God can allow us God can do anything, right? So he can allow us an experience if it gives us some kind of peace. But, we also have to be cautious and be aware of something that's not from God. But I think as a little child, there was nothing like crazy about that situation that would have, tainted me or made me like, I didn't feel scared or anything like that. I felt peace. I felt comfort.
Okay.
Yeah. Then there's people that believe in that too. Though they said, "Oh, those aren't," they're actually other entities that am I saying that entity? Or that come in and they're disguised as our loved ones and stuff. Uh, I mean, will we ever know? Will we ever really know?
Well, speaking about that, Fred, like that guy that his mom was a palm reader, he told us that she and I don't know if this was just something that I know he said this, but later on thinking about it, when you see those, I forgot her name, dang it, she came on like Montel Williams, that famous
Brown. What's
her last name?
Brown,
yeah.
Sylvia.
Sylvia Brown.
There you go.
Yeah.
So they were saying about her, like, so these people can Google, like they can look you up and things that happen in your past. Like they're not going to tell you stuff that happens in the future. You're never going to see a palm reader or a or anything like that tell you the future. Like they can't tell you the future. They won't. And that's what the guy told us, that his mom looks up history of part of these people's like story. Maybe like they got in an accident or something like major that happened to them in the past. So she had that information, or telling them, not a lot, but just like certain things that stood out. And she would tell them that was just a lie. She would just not a lie, but it was something that happened to them in the past.
Because she told people too, though, that their loved ones have passed, and stuff. And then they ended up finding out that that wasn't true. That they,
Oh
they
yeah,
ended up, they were alive.
yeah.
And yeah. So I mean, yeah, no, she had a real quick before we go on to anything. I didn't know. I just found out maybe like 2-3 years ago
Mhm.
that she's actually buried in San Jose.
No way.
Yeah, she's buried in
Oh,
San
Really?
she
Jose.
is?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Sylvia Brown, she's buried in San Jose.
yeah.
I was like,
I remember
oh,
her on those
yeah.
shows. She was,
Yeah.
to me, I remember she looked scary to me. She was
Yeah,
so,
she
like,
is.
I
Yeah.
don't know, something
And,
about
Cholo asks right now, at what age do they start seeing angels? The kids and stuff.
Hmm.
You know what? That's kind of hard to say. It's kind of but I'll say this. But I will say this. I believe also too that there are a few people that obtain that gift.
Right.
Yeah, I believe that.
I mean, there are prophets, but they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to do what's not God's
Right,
work.
Lucy?
Like they're supposed to do God's work. You know.
Yes.
Oh yeah, here we go. It clicked off. I think I
Yeah,
froze.
they are. That's right, OC?
He keeps freezing. I don't know if I'm frozen or what, but
No, Fred's freezing. He'll be back right now. Something's going on with.
yeah, you've heard that story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like
but
there you are, Fred.
Yeah. I'm like, I just kind of like, I don't know. I see a little circle. Everybody fades away, and it's like, okay, I know I froze or something. And I'm probably like,
No, you're good. You froze for a
No.
second, but you're back.
yeah. No,
So-
and some more money. And you know what? But I think that some people obtain that gift because they know how to use it. Because even though there are a lot of scammers, I believe there are people who are truly gifted in that.
oh yeah. Well, it
Very
says
few and far in between. Now, is it good or bad? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't like to mess with that stuff. To be honest, guys, I don't like to tap in with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't.
Right. I feel like if you don't,
You know.
that's smart though. If you don't feel like a strong, conviction or connection to that, it's not something to dive into. That's smart of you,
Yeah.
Fred. Using discernment. Like,
Well, not to get into a whole other thing, but I will say this. I mean, I don't believe in. I knew somebody that kept going back to these, these fortune tellers or what do they call them now, whatever they're called. And I thought that, I said, man, we're supposed to have faith. By you doing that, you're not having faith. You're trying to go ahead, and I think it's a bigger sin. Not that I'm free of sin. I mean, I'm full of sin, as I told you guys. I'm trying to work on the forgiveness part, but
yes.
but I think that it also, but I think it's I think we should walk in faith. I mean,
Yes.
as they say, God's not going to give you something you can't handle, so you just kind of just go with it,
And just to your point, I mean, I'm always gonna, never gonna push my beliefs on you guys, but I'm always gonna just spit it to you how I feel. And I mean, we are also told in the Word to not go to fortune tellers and palm readers and all that. So, that's that. But I do know a lady, like, just to drop this little piece of info before we jump back onto the pet thing. Sadly, she was from Salinas right here. Good to see you, Herb. Good to see you back on it live. And there was a palm reader out here in Salinas that manipulated her out of $50,000 because she literally told her, like, she got her roped into coming back, and she needed more info and this and that. And she told her, if you don't pay this amount by the end of tomorrow, like she was specific with a time, and somehow she remembered the lady's mom's favorite color. Her mom had recently passed away. So she was using her grief to really play on her mind.
Wow.
And if she didn't pay that, she told her that, the whatever was going to come and take her child next. Dang. And this lady paid, like, she took a loan out and everything and paid this lady. And I felt so awful for her. It like wrecked her mentally and financially. I think she even lost her home. Wow. And I will never forget that. It was awful.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
don't believe
Sad.
all that stuff. You have authority over that in Christ.
yeah.
You don't need to go
Oh,
to
yeah.
things like that. Definitely.
Yeah, that's that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of
Yeah,
people that just are full of scams,
definitely.
you know.
So let's
And then
jump,
go on.
yeah, let's jump back up here because there was a couple questions that I think are
Yeah.
hitting on some good points. And let's see. Cultura and Cholo had something that in regards to pets.
Uh-huh.
So I
One thing I
believe,
will,
see if I can
one
go
thing I
ahead.
will say really quick, the problem with the whole thing with the fortune teller thing before we move forward, um, that's the problem that people who are vulnerable because they lost somebody, that's when they seek them, and so they know how to work
Yeah,
that. So anyway, go on, go ahead.
you're right. You're right. I believe that. Okay, so Cultura says, is there a such thing as too many pets?
Yeah, I think so. If you can't afford to feed them, I mean, and keep them like, yeah, especially too on the size of the animal, you
Yeah.
know, if you can't clean up after them or
Okay.
you don't have the time for them to take them outside and so on and so forth, then yeah, it's
Right.
yeah.
So
And
I
that's the
believe
important part is if you could feed them. Like I don't know. I think what's too many though? Like what's too many?
well, I guess that's one point. Like if you can't feed them, then that's too many for sure, right?
Mhm.
But like for me, let's use me as an example. I'll throw myself under the bus.
Uh-oh.
With the cats, 7 cats I had. It's 6
wow.
now because one of them, missing. I'm pretty sure, sadly, like the coyotes got him because they've been coming down onto the property a lot.
Mhm.
But they're outside. So if I had 7 cats in my house at all times, I feel like that would make me look like a crazy cat lady, right? Like wild. Now,
Yeah.
did I go out seeking all these cats to bring them? No, I just am like like that in the forest. I happen to find these animals like in need of being saved, and I feel like I can, nurse them back to health. I just happen to. Some of them I found. Some of them people like my son brought me a little kitten that was almost, on its, deathbed, and I was able to take care of her and nurse her back to health. I've had this cat for 11 years now.
Wow.
So a lot of things like that. Another little cat, my son found it outside his work. He worked close by the freeway. Little tiny kitten, never should have been away from its mom that early. Obviously, the mom probably was hit, sadly. So he brought me a kitten. So it's things like that. Like I wasn't going out just finding cats or,
Yeah.
But
And
these
what
cats,
you see most of the time is like people that have too many, they end up being like hoarders, and not paying attention to the cats and stuff.
Yeah.
And
so I live like if I live more in the city part of Salinas, it might be wild. But since I live in the county, these cats are able to roam around outside and like catch, little varmints and things like that to sustain themselves. I mean, yes, I feed them as well, but they're also really good at. I mean, they pay for their own rent in some ways because they're catching gophers, they're catching field mice, they're you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Birds sometimes. So
yeah.
But if I couldn't feed them, I would think that would be unfair to the animals.
Yeah, well, I see that in the sense of sometimes I see somebody who's homeless, with the dog and stuff, and it's like, man, like it's
Yes.
kind of like, wow,
Thank you,
you know,
Dee. God
they,
bless you.
they,
Good to see you, Dee. Thank you.
So
Yeah. I see that a lot. That one guy in Salinas always on the corner right there in Baranda. He's always got 2 pits with him. And he's holding a sign saying free dog training classes. Like, how you gonna where you train these dogs at? I'm just curious.
right? That's what I'm saying. Wow.
But not to clown on that, but I always feel bad because the dogs look like, they're sitting there all dehydrated and like, come on.
Yeah. So
there's some people that just shouldn't, and who knows, maybe they're good with them at the beginning and then it gets too overwhelming. Just like with, you see that with, like I said, the hoarders. I watched I don't know,
Yes.
reporter show one.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of she had a lot of cats in the cages, you know, and they were
Yeah.
looked like they were hungry.
That's like a whole other level. That's an
Yeah.
illness, I feel like a
That's
mental
yeah.
So I
illness.
mean, it
And I
depends on how.
I don't know. I feel like if you're I don't know. Everybody treats their home differently and stuff. And no,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have these cats in my house like walking on my counter, getting on my table. I'm not cool with stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
my kitchen is not for the pets to go in and
Yeah.
do their business in there. But
Mhm.
I see some people like holding a pet right here and then stirring the beans with this hand, and
Yeah.
I'm like, whoo, I'm sorry, but I'm not
Yeah.
hungry. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pass on that.
Yeah. Or you see them in the grocery store
Right.
too. Sometimes they have them in the carts or whatever, and it's like, and
Right?
it's not clearly not a service dog, you know.
I
If that's the
know.
case, you know. I mean, it's just,
Right.
but
My dogs
Cholo
are
said
barking.
something. Cholo said something else that had to do with
Yes.
like
So
ownership.
he
pet.
said,
Where-
let me see
he
if I
said
can
that
find that comment. 'Cause
Cholo
that
said that
was-
we dominate over the animals. That's why we like them. That's why we obsessed with them. So we can
Okay.
dominate over them. Like, yeah, you're mine.
So what does that mean? Like exactly what does he mean by that? Like
He's playing around. He's playing around. Like you will eat when I tell you to, and you will get water when I tell you. You know, it's kind of
oh,
we're dominant
I
over
know.
these animals. You know,
Is he playing
He-
around
he-
though?
I don't think he's playing because we
Yeah.
know who the dog parents at his
I
house.
know how he jokes around about being dominant, so that I'm taking that like seriously. That's why.
I thought he was referring to the puppies that he didn't really
So I
get
think
along with.
some people, he basically said, like, what is it, you guys, what do you think is people's obsession with animals? Or I think some people, I'll be honest, like, I'm an animal person, but I do think some people take it too far. When you start placing, I'll just say it, when you start placing your own human relationships in jeopardy somehow over an animal, that might be a little too far.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not sure what everyone's take on that is, but I'm just being honest for myself. Like,
Yeah,
I've seen
but
people do that, and
I mean, what? So being for an example would be like you're saying holding the pet while you're cooking. Like that just
yeah, for me, I would just
That's
like
gross.
if that was someone in my house, I would if it were one of my kids, I'd be like, no, get her or him, whatever your pet, out of the kitchen. We don't do that. We don't cook while we're holding the pet.
No.
If it was a significant other or something, and you guys disagreed over something like that, I would hope you can express that to each other. But I have seen it cause issue between people before too. Like, but some people are obsessed. I see people putting their pets like top tier above their own kids and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's different. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? My youngest daughter, when we lost Jada, the other weenie dog we had,
Yeah.
um, for some reason, she's out of all the kids, she's the animal lover, you know. So it would be like we'd be in a store and we'd be walking somewhere, and if it could be Paddington Bear, and it's like, oh, it's Jada, you know, and there was like a weenie dog like shape, you know, at the for the pets or whatever, for the pets to chew on or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Well, I had to buy these things, you know, and she grabbed them and wanted them, and she's Jada, and sometimes she would just cry out of the blue, and this is years later after the dog had been deceased, and she died of natural causes. So that's when we ended up buying Toby, you
Right.
know, but years later. But she's just an animal lover. She's just an animal, you know. So I believe that there is people who are naturally love animals for that sense, you know, that take care of them. Because again, one, and like somebody said, one is too many.
Yeah.
We don't, yeah, like right here, they're saying one is too many. I mean, but I mean,
Right. That's good. Her.
there's some people that really genuinely, I know people that will take their dogs to the vet, and get insurance and all this stuff,
Yes.
you know.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a thing, and it's not an obsession. It's just they're trained for these animals. If you think about it, a dog. Let's say a dog. It's you're looking at 12 years, 13 years,
Mhm.
maybe 15 if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I wasn't coughing no more. For some reason, I'm coughing today.
Uh,
Um, 15 years if you're lucky. So if you think about it, they're with us for that amount of time. God willing, everything's fine.
Yeah.
We're with them for their whole life.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to, preach it and make everybody, get to, pull
No,
on
I get it.
heartstrings or nothing.
Yeah.
But we get these animals because, you're going to take time. Like when I got Toby, I remember we got Toby and I told the lady, and I drove all the way to my Visalia. That's about 2-3 hours
Oh
from
wow.
us.
Yes.
And then she was all like, I said, well, he's going to be an indoor dog. And I
Yeah.
said, oh, thank you. That makes us feel better. Even after I had paid for him.
Yeah.
But I can also understand too that sometimes people charge because if you give a dog to somebody, it's like, whatever, you know,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
where if, you pay for it, it's just a little bit different. And
Yes.
because you're actually going to take care of him. And I said, well, he'll be loved. And here he is. And here he is.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
you fit, you know what I mean? Like you make him part of your life and you make it work. And just like with our brother Strange Days here, he says, I
uh-huh.
have 8 dogs and 30 chickens, but you make it a point, Strange Days, to that is your little family. Like you're out there actively caring for your chickens, your dogs are part of your
Yeah.
ranch, you're doing things with them and making
Yeah.
it work, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So
Yeah, and they lives on a ranch, like you said.
right.
Big
People
place
that
to
just
live.
have an animal just to have it and
Yeah.
say it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what? Even myself, as I told you guys leaving last week, I get up and I get the, because they don't just stay around the house.
Right.
April,
God bless you, girl. Thank you.
I you know I go and pick up the puppy pads and everything else, and then I take them outside, and get them,
Yeah.
can't keep them cooped in,
Right.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, taking care of them, make sure they get their water, make sure they're fed, and spend time with them. If I sit down, which is really rare, it's weird because it's really really rare. If I sit down on the couch, boom, they're on me.
Yeah.
One I have one on each side. It's like, and the other one at my feet. It's like,
I
wow.
agree with that.
It's just like,
Yeah.
but that's how they are. They. I mean, my son will come out sometimes and he'll slap his own hand like he hits me or whatever, and the dog growls at him right away. It's just like they
Yeah.
love
Protector.
you. It's
Yeah.
unconditional, and they love him as well.
Yes.
Because he gets home and they're all going skids. It's a
Right.
beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing that the natural thing of a dog. I mean, like, okay, I get it. Dogs aren't for everybody. Everybody doesn't like dogs. I get it.
Yeah.
But they're just natural, man. They're natural.
Cuvo Nick.
You know.
Yeah. 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 So that works for you in your household. So I feel
Yeah.
like with
I don't
anything.
know. To me, like I don't want another puppy because what happened with my papas, so close to them. I just can't, I can't bring myself to mourn another loss of, I mean, he was only just turned 5,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
4, I think 4. Yeah, he just turned 4.
Mhm.
That's the hard part
And
too, though.
Yeah, it just, I had him since he was 12 weeks old. It was so little, like a little rat, and just so part of our life, and
Yeah.
when I lost him, I went crazy. Like literally, it hit me some type of way. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you still have that video, Jen, but
Yeah. Yeah. That's on our
that one
members.
that's like, oh my God, that was my heart being spilled out. Like
Oh,
days after that.
yeah.
Um,
I
Well, no,
remember it's a serious, like your grief that you have been dealing with over losing him, it really changed and shook your life. Like
oh yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
it hurts, man, to see the dogs like that. I mean,
And,
it's like, like
and
a human being. When
sorry,
they pass, unfortunately.
no, yeah, and I see that because my cousin's always like, rescue a dog, rescue, rescue, rescue. And I'm like, trust me, I would rescue all the dogs if I could. Like, I don't
Yeah.
like to see that. It hurts my
Yeah.
heart just to know that they're in the cage, like, you know, that they need adoption, but it's not for me. Like, I did it.
You guys there?
I'm here.
I just can't do it again. Like, I just
Yeah.
can never do that again, you know, but
Right.
they were like, time will tell. Sorry, guys. I have the screen up.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was.
They said
I
time will
can-
tell, but
Yeah, you're just not ready yet, right? You're just
man, it's been what, 4 years now? 3 years?
Yeah.
years.
You know,
Something like that.
I-
mean,
I have our dog, Doob, the original Tube. He's great. All my dogs, they're very wicked. Toby will sometimes run out when I take him outside, and he'll go and he'll stand on the grave, on actual grave. You're not the original Tube. Anyway,
Get
Oh,
it.
but it's just like that, you know. I mean, you know what? When we found this out, and I'm gonna tell you guys, since we're on the subject
Aw.
of pets and animals, we found out that Max is actually Jada's great grandchild.
No.
Because he was a great
way.
image of her.
that's
Well,
crazy.
yeah, it's weird. It's on his way back, you know. Like, wow, this was like crazy.
What a trip.
You know, yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so cute, though.
yeah.
Yes, this is a good comment. Lifestyles, the broken homeless. When you have to
Oh.
put them down, it's one of the worst experiences. Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
we can all agree
Yeah.
to that, Denise. And
Yeah.
I remember still like
Yeah.
my childhood dog. Her name was Sitka. She was a German Shepherd, and they named her after, I guess it's a name of an actual town in Alaska. I don't know why they named her that when we bought her, but that was her name.
uh-huh.
That traumatized me so bad when she had to be put down because she got that like hip dysplasia.
Oh, yeah.
She lost like all her feeling in the back of her body, so she couldn't hold her bladder or bowel, or she was like dragging her legs. It became she was in pain every minute of every day. That was so like heart-wrenching for me. I think she was put down when I was like 15 years old. I never had another dog until I got Angel, because that's how hurt that made me.
Yeah.
And the thought of it now, you know, Angel's 10, 11 years old, and I'm starting to see her eyes get glassy, and she's experiencing some trouble with her bladder, and it's really freaking me out, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It's a horrible feeling, you guys. My daughter did a DNA on her dog the other day, and it says on there that he has a cousin in Seattle. We're like, how? What? Like, related wise? Yeah.
That's so cool, really.
Yeah. So we tripped out on that. But yeah, I told her everything, like the breakdown of what he was and stuff. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool.
That's interesting. I have a niece that did that. She did the DNA on her dogs.
Yeah.
And I never would. They don't, I mean, they're mixed with all kinds of stuff, but she treats these dogs like they're show dogs. Like, I mean, my little cousin is like she's a manager at PetSmart. So those dogs have everything.
Oh,
yeah. Like,
yeah.
She did this test on them, and they came out to be like Mastiff, and to me, they just look like a mix of a sheepdog and I don't know, like a golden retriever. But
right,
a trip to see all the different things they're mixed with.
Yeah. And just look it up and see what, I forgot what it was. A terrier or something, pit bull. I don't know, pit.
Yeah.
It was funny to see his body, like, oh my god, that looks just like him, you know.
Right.
Pictures that we had seen.
How funny! That's a trip. You can do that.
The other thing about having and being with animals too is to bathe them. Too, the bigger the animal, the harder it is to bathe them.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's like, since I have the Shih Tzu, I have Ewok, and I have the two Winnies. So it's like I try to bathe them once a week. You know,
that's good. Yeah.
I'll go 2. You know, but they won't go past that anymore. I do bathe them. You know, and it's hard. It's hard for me to bathe them. because of my injuries, and sometimes I'm like, okay, I can't,
Yeah.
I do my best I can, and but I bathe them because again, they're animals. They're gonna be musky,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, money. Look at this, guys. I paid 4,500 a hip surgery on my dog.
yeah,
With
I
love.
think that was my monthly bill. I think that was
I
my
mean,
monthly
believe
bill.
me, if I had the money to do it, I would definitely do something for mine.
Yeah.
But there is like people can apply for that. What is it? Care credit now? Like a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of people do
Yeah,
that.
you can use it on them.
Wait,
Yeah.
you know what? I know a guy who
Cap
who
cut.
paid, I want to say, over 10,000
Yeah.
for his dog for all these surgeries and stuff,
Really?
and then he didn't have a tattoo on his body at all.
Wow.
When his dog ended up passing, he got the tattoo of his dog.
Oh.
And he had this dog since he was a kid, and he went through, through school, like, and then high school and college,
Mhm.
and he had this dog. Well, he buried her in the backyard, but he also got a full-fledged gravestone, a grave marker, and everything, like a human, like we use at the cemetery, a
Yeah.
marble thing,
Wow.
and did everything. And then he had another dog that was
Mhm.
kind of going through the same thing,
I have it.
and this guy drove all the way to Oregon because the vet had moved out there to Oregon, and
Oh,
he
wow.
drove all the way to Oregon to take his dog. So yeah, I mean, I understand people are gonna, if you got it like that, or you apply for it,
Trust
then yeah,
me.
man, people are
Trust
gonna
me.
do it.
I was in the vet with my papa for like every month, twice a month maybe, at $300 every time I would go, because they had to flush his ear, cut his
Okay.
nails while they put him to sleep and all that, or gave him sedation.
Uh-huh.
So all that added up, and it just got. I don't know how, Fred. I ended up paying all the time for it. Somehow,
Yeah,
some way, it got
yeah,
paid, and I had to. I had to. He had
yeah,
an ear problem that.
yeah. No, yeah,
Actually
definitely,
led to
definitely.
his.
It's a thing. I mean, I even with my dog too. When we had the other dog, the Jada Pinkett Smith, I told you she right that she started to get like cataracts, and I started getting white, and it was just kind of like. And she's
Yeah.
blind and couldn't really hear, and she died naturally. But
Aw,
I'll tell you what, I think she got out a couple of times. She must have got ran over like 4 times.
Oh my
wow.
The dog never, nothing ever. She bounced back and she died. One time I was taking her to Salinas and she passed as we were taking her. As soon as like we got there, she jumped up again
Wow.
and
Oh my
nothing
God.
serious, ever serious. Like
Yeah.
we thought because her name was, and it's funny, like I told you guys, we received a letter from the vet to my house and it's Jada Pinkett Smith. And it was like, what the heck? Like it was funny. And I posted it on my Facebook. But I blurred out my address.
Yeah.
I'll get it out and I'll send it to you guys or something, and so you guys
Yes.
can check it out.
That'll be
But
fun.
I had my
but
papa cremated. I have his urn over there, and
Yeah.
yep, I dressed up every holiday, and because I used to dress him up, like
That's
we
funny.
did some photo
yeah,
shoots with him. So
yeah.
it was
Oh, I mean, animals it's
they're
just
lifesaver, I'll tell you that. He really came into my life when I needed that type of I don't know, it was just different. It was something that my husband, not that he didn't do, but that I needed more of. And that was it. That was when I was taking care of his grandma, Fred.
no, yeah. Well, you know
My
what?
caregiver. I was like, man, I need extra care too right now.
No, and I agree, and I can understand that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when my mom, the first time she was in, or was it the second time, I believe,
Hmm.
when she was in the home because I couldn't take care of her, she was in a coma. Not to get into that, but I used to take Jada over there,
Thank you, Cultura.
and they used to encourage me like, "You need to bring her." And then all the residents were like, "Oh, Jada, Jada." So I would go, to everyone that wanted to spend time with her, and they'd
Yeah.
pet her and stuff, and it was just soothing to them. It would make their day.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. Now
know,
you see him walking around in those rehab homes. Like
yeah,
I've seen a few of them in rehab, not rehab, but resting
yeah.
homes
The,
or what do you
the
call
rest
it?
from nursing homes, yeah.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
pets now in there, just walking around. Oh, that's the facility dog. You know, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's cool. Because he'll
Yeah,
go
because
around
they
every
do
room, like just check in and walk out. And I saw him do that. I was like, wow, that's a trip.
yeah,
So,
no, they do sue the other the residents and stuff like that, and children on with that too as well. Yeah, I've had that happen. I've had that happen. They used to encourage me, and I used to take both of them, Jada and the original tube. You know, Dube the Tube. I used to
yeah,
take them, and the people used to just love them. You know, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but that's
I
how it
think
goes. That's how it
further
goes.
further up here, Jojo had said that his oh, yeah, here it is. It says my cane corso is my best friend and worst enemy. True. And then you said something about he tries to jump in the shower, right? I'm like,
Uh,
okay, that's what mine does too. But honestly, when you have a big dog like that, that's the way to go. Like,
yeah.
you might as
Right?
well
Every
bring them
time you
in,
look
wash them up first, go put them back, and then go take your own
oh
because you're gonna
man.
get
Oh
covered.
yeah.
Yeah, when you're washing a big dog like that, you're gonna be
Yeah.
yeah.
covered in water
Oh no, definitely, definitely that
And
happens. That happens.
for
And
sure.
again, you gotta have time for these animals. You know, if you're really gonna
Yeah,
dedicate, if you're not, and I understand there's people who are not pet people. You know, I mean, I get it. But then that's it. You know, I mean,
yeah.
but the people that do get them, yeah, you're gonna spend time, like
I
because they,
was
you
like,
know,
no, I was not for pets. I was not for pets, you guys. And my sister,
Mhm.
I think I told you this, is my sister would like let the dog eat from her mouth and just, all up
oh,
on it.
wow,
Like I was like,
yeah,
no, you can't. And then I did the same thing with my puppy. I was like, man, I don't even know how I talk so much crap on her dog when I'm doing the same thing over here.
Yeah,
Like I never thought I would. But
right.
yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
No,
never say
I
never.
see them too where they have them tied up outside. I used to see some weenie dogs here in town, and it was
Mhm.
like they had them tied up outside and be like, "Hey, do you want to get rid of it?" Like, I mean, the animal's just tied up outside. Like, it's just, that's not having a pet. That's just kind of
Yeah.
like whatever, you know.
right,
Yeah, I don't see the sense of that. Like, you know,
right.
so
That's
people
why.
do, they do tear up yards and stuff, depending on the animal too, though.
Yeah.
Depending on the animals too, though. That's the other thing too, though. I mean, well, see, the weenie dogs, guys, they're diggers, so they'll dig,
Oh,
and
Oh,
you know,
really? Okay, I didn't
yeah,
know they were.
they
Okay.
were bred to. They're actually German. They were bred to hunt
Huh.
badgers and fox. They
oh,
can be
damn.
vicious. They can be very vicious, and they'll bring the badgers out. They will fight, like they'll really fight.
I did not know that.
Interesting. I didn't know that either, but it makes sense because they're small and compact, so they can go
Yeah,
down into the little.
the foxholes. They were bred for that in Germany. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, what's up, man? They
Let's
used
see.
to my one of my buddies used to look at
Eddie.
the dog and call him Krauts. You Krauts, you know, they're like, or you Schnitzels, and just call them
Right?
every, or some were sitting down and they just call them every kind of name we could think of. But yeah,
Right.
no, yeah, that's what they are. But yeah, it depends too on the animals because they will destroy your yard though if
Oh,
if you
I
have them in
bet.
the yard too as well.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
bet
just a
they
lot
do.
too. It's just yeah, I think
You guys
even in a when there's a couple,
ever
it needs to be somebody to take that responsibility. And 9 times out of 10, it's not the person that wants them that takes the responsibility. It's the person that doesn't want them that takes the responsibility
Uh-oh.
of the animals.
Uh,
But hey,
where'd
it,
Cholo Tucker go? I think we scared him away talking about animals.
yeah, he must have got bored with our conversation. He'd be like, "Oh,
Oh
I'm
my
not
God.
listening to this."
You guys
Right.
ever wonder why Cortona
Yeah.
calls me Alice? You ever wonder that or don't?
Do you
The
know
what?
why? Or are you asking?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
I've
asking you guys.
wondered before. Yeah. Are you going to tell us?
No, you tell me why. What do you
I
think?
don't know. I don't know why.
Oh,
I
you
have
don't know?
wondered before, though.
Okay, he calls me Alice. Wait, let him tell you why.
Okay.
Tell
Tell us
us
why.
why, Cortona. Tell us why.
Okay,
It's funny, guys. It's
you got
funny.
me intrigued over here as to why
Yeah.
Alice.
Right? Yeah, I just figured it was like a little inside,
No,
thing.
we
So,
dress. Okay, I'll tell you if he's not gonna be on. Remember when I dressed like Dorothy
yes.
for Halloween?
Yeah.
Ever since then, he started calling me Alice.
Oh,
Like it's
okay.
Alice in Wonderland. Like I'm like,
Oh.
how do you get those mixed up? I guess they're They dress the same, right? Almost.
Yeah,
I
I was
laugh.
that's
If you think about it,
okay.
that's what
yeah.
I got out of it. I don't know, because I'm like, why do you call me Alex? Why does he call me Alex? And I was like,
Right.
oh, that's when it started. But I was just like Dorothy
Cute.
from the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I like that.
Or Alice in Wonderland, but it's confused with Dorothy, and that's weird. That's weird. They're like, wait, what? Right?
I
Is that
can
what
see
you're
him.
saying?
I mean,
It's
I can see him
confused.
saying that because they dress the same, right? They're almost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give or take.
I
It
think
is
about it.
similar.
Alice in
Yeah,
Wonderland.
Yeah.
But except
that's
Dorothy,
true.
I had the black hair.
Yeah,
Remember, I had the black hair. I put on the
yeah,
black hair with the braids.
yeah.
And
You always
Yeah.
come through
yeah,
with the costumes. I love that.
yeah,
They're
that
always
was fun. That was fun. We gotta keep
Yeah.
yeah. This
traditions
year
going.
will be better for sure. That was a
Yeah.
crazy. That night was a crazy night. That was the night I remember during our live. I got the phone call about my
Mm.
stepfather's diagnosis. So
Oh,
um,
wow.
this year
Yeah.
will be better for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like Arturo's I like his input on things. He's
Yeah,
always
Yeah. He's fun,
good,
man. But
right?
he brings the best of us sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Cultura produced this evening's show, guys, because
Right?
he was
Brought to
doing
you
it.
by.
Yeah,
that's funny.
that's cool. That's cool. So let's see, we're at an hour, a little over an hour and a half. So what do you have going on this week coming up, Fred? You putting anything out on your channel or what's that?
Yeah, I will probably knock something out right now after we're done here. Usually, you know what, guys? When I do my stuff, it's never. It's always on the fly,
Okay,
and it's no editing, and it just kind of just go into it, and
that's
that's
good.
really it. And
Yeah.
I like it. It's not live, but I want it to be kind of live, like
Yes.
it's
I
what
like
it
that
is.
vibe. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that vibe when you do that. I think I'm gonna personally do the same. It just the whole editing thing, like for long form content, it doesn't work out well for me because of just time wise with what I'm dealing with family stuff. So I think I'm just gonna basically do the same. And I really feel like I watch stuff more that's not edited. Like I appreciate stuff that looks real and it just off the
yeah,
cuff. Like I don't like things that look super edited. I like to feel like I'm experiencing something with that content creator. I'm watching their real
yeah.
life. So I
And
think I'm gonna do the same. Just putting stuff out there and it is what it is.
yeah, and it helps with the lives as well too, because it's people. I know people freak out like, oh, it's live, like they're all freaked out, afraid to say something wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you just,
Hmm.
then again, but it does take, it just, I'm not speaking for myself, I'm speaking for
Yeah.
everybody on YouTube or whatever.
Thank you.
It takes
For sure.
it takes a lot to sit in front of a camera and talk to yourself,
Yeah. It's
sometimes,
Talk to yourself.
yeah, it feels
But
that
pretty
way.
much, you're talking giving an opinion and stuff. It's not as easy as it may seem. Some people think like, oh, I could start doing my own thing, and it's like, yeah, well, but it's I'm not saying
Right.
that nobody can do it. Yeah, but it's just a different thing. It's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
no pun intended. But
It is for sure.
yeah,
Good.
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you, Herb. I love actually I had a lot of fun doing that cooking live. I'm gonna make that
That was
and I said that last week. I will make that part of like I'm gonna try to do it as like a once a week thing. And before, you know what, I used to let it hold me back, thinking like, well, I don't have a like fancy, nice kitchen like a lot of
no.
these creators have. But you know what? I don't care. Now that I
And
look at it, my
That's
kitchen
what stops me
is
from doing it. 'Cause
yes, I'm able to feed my family from that kitchen. So if it's good enough for me, that it is what it is, you know?
Yep.
look at my background now.
Yeah.
I've seen some channels that have a nice setup.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. I have way more subscribers than they do.
No kidding.
Their show, even though they may have interviews and stuff,
Yeah.
is just like it just drags. It drags, and it's kind of like it just it's not the setup. It's the person. You have to
Right.
be able to to sell it, and something I get it. It's not for everybody, so my channel's not for everybody. I've seen other channels too, and I'm thinking, oh, hey, I gotta do this, but I've seen other channels just darn, I mean, flourishing,
Yeah.
and they're always like in the same little area and just say what
Mhm.
they say. It's just
Yeah. I think it's true. Like you said, and keeping it authentic and just in your
yeah,
natural like area and being your true self. For myself, that's what I watch. I don't watch high production type
yeah,
videos. I really don't. I want to see the real deal.
Well, not to sound like weird or anything, but my kitchen's very old, like really old. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna stick with when my husband redoes my kitchen, then I'll go in there and film.
Okay. All right.
And
Cool.
it just needs help, like big time. My counter. Put it this way: my girls burnt the back of my counter, so I have two big old burnt marks on the back of where my stove's at.
Mine
but
I'm
again,
too.
like, oh, dude.
Mine
not
too.
it's not the. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people focus on oh, I gotta have this, then and then I'll get more subscribers. You gotta sell yourself. You
Right.
gotta be able to know how to talk and
Right.
within your own channel or how to conduct with other channels as well. And then it's kind of so we as content creators gotta know how to do that, and that's not an easy thing. I mean, to us it comes easy, I guess.
Yeah,
Or
it's
not
true.
that easy because sometimes I'm like, okay, what am I gonna talk about? And or I'm like, okay, and there's stuff that I've done, and then I'll be like, no, I can do it better, and I'll do it. I'll just start deleting stuff like, I'll just do it again,
Yeah.
and it comes up better. And some people are like, you're crazy, bro. How do you do that? And I was like, it's just the way it is.
Right. You know what? I
No,
like.
you guys be surprised that so many people have. Sorry, were you talking to us?
No,
No, I just said I like that. I like what he said. Go ahead.
yeah,
No, yeah. But so many people have told me start your channel, da da da, and I'm like, I will, but at the same time, like, and I don't want to sound like that. I don't want to sound like, oh, because I'm sure my food tastes better than my kitchen looks, right? I know that,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I still need help. But the house is coming little by little, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with
You
just
know
waiting and
the thing about it though, Denise, is I mean, yeah, I get it. It's the thing too. Like I don't want to be also too like, okay, this and this, showing a bunch of stuff, um, but again, it's who you are as a person
Mhm.
on the screen.
I,
That makes a difference because again, excuse me, I've seen channels that have the nice setups and they don't have they're reading off of stuff. It's
Yes.
kind of being perfected and everything, and it just gets kind of like, oh, okay, like I don't
Listen,
want to hear this, you just boom.
yeah. Yeah.
I'll
No
put it to
disrespect,
somebody
but
just
it can bore you to sleep. Yeah.
yeah, 'cause I've seen it too where some people say, hey man, like sometimes when I see your stuff, you like you start thinking or you look down and stuff. I go, I'm not reading anything.
right.
Nothing scripted. Nothing. I don't have anything scripted. I look down because I'm trying to think, or I'm trying to, I'm looking around, or whatever. My mind's going at about 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And even on the when I did the Bandits video in Salinas, the
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis filming location, I had somebody tell me, oh, maybe you should try to practice more because you do a lot of the and this and this. And that. I said, yeah, but if it was too clean cut, it would be boring.
Right.
Yes.
This coming from a real person, and those areas, at least they're gonna be knocked down pretty soon, I think, because it's not looking good.
Yeah.
So I captured it before anything can happen. But again, see, if I waited around, people like, oh, I need a good camera, I need to have the one you tie around, the halo, whatever. In case
Yes.
it'll never get done. It'll
Yeah.
never get
Yeah.
done.
Well,
You're
Sometimes
right.
you
you'd be
gotta
surprised with what I saw
Right.
even when we look now at the president, they're right, and all those reporters and stuff got the big old cameras, and now they're
yeah,
doing it with their phone. You guys, like this,
yeah.
this is
Yes.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
This is your
we,
camera. Like I don't worry about none of that stuff. Uh,
uh,
I just like. I mean, we've been on YouTube
your
for I don't
background.
know how long
Yeah.
I've been on people's channels, but going way back.
So see, that's something interesting about you, sis. I didn't know that. I didn't realize you wanted to do food content. So that is something like I would love to see that because I like watching stuff like that. I like doing that.
Yeah. I
So
think I
would
mentioned
like
it to you.
watch.
I thought I mentioned it to you that we should do the
No,
30
I
minute
thought
meals.
you.
Remember?
No, I
Remember I told
remember
you?
you have talked about music before, and then we talked about a Bible study thing once in the beginning, but I didn't know you wanted to do food content. That would be,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
definitely watch
just
that.
30-minute meals, something you could, something that you could do within like a reasonable amount of time, right? Because that other day when you did the roast, that was amazing. But at the same
Yeah,
time, I was telling you I cooked the same thing. I made the same
That
thing,
was
but
crazy. Yeah,
I mean,
when
it
you
took
said
hours.
that,
I mean,
right?
it took hours. It didn't just pop out of the oven.
Well,
No,
Like
you know what, guys? If you guys remember, and he's no longer on here. I mean, he's still around, but he's not on here, unfortunately. West Coast Graffiti.
Oh yeah.
Remember, he used to cook,
Yeah.
and so that he'd be messing it up. He'd be burning the food sometimes, and he'd be
that's
like,
so.
But it
I
was
love
so cool to see him just,
it's
it was just
authentic.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because he
And
had the gift of gab too. He
Does
taught.
he not? He doesn't. He's not on YouTube anymore, or
No.
no, I think he got kicked off of YouTube or something.
Oh wow, yeah, I
Oh,
didn't
Yeah.
know
I need to reach out to him, see if I can reach out to him because there's other places he can do stuff like that too, though. So I don't know.
that. Yeah. Raider
He
Rich
has to
says
start going.
many people want people to go live, but those are the same people that will never hit the link and hop on the panel. Plus StreamYard, the price went up to $45. You know what, Raider Rich? I need to actually check. I literally was trying to do a little budgeting, and my StreamYard is charging me $99 a month. So I don't know if that's like a higher plan or if they charge me twice. But I just noticed that this month, so I need to
Wow.
check that out because
Josie.
it's expensive. It's expensive to go live. Yeah.
Wow.
So he said you can boil water and I'll watch.
What's that?
Yeah, man. It's just
Okay, really? I'm gonna boil some water.
Oh man.
Hey,
Check it out. Wouldn't that be funny though? Like,
yeah.
literally the one video, you saying that, JoJo, makes me think of this. It irked me so bad because I looked up, what was I looking up? Like cooking shorts, because I love to watch people cook. I love to watch people eat for some reason. Not the ones where they're like, stuffing themselves like crazy or whatever, but I like to see hey, that looks good. And I think, let me try that. Yeah. But there's literally a video of this old man. He's so precious, and he's boiling hot dogs, and it has 30 million views.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
And I was like blown away. I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
That's all he's doing. He's boiling hot dogs.
You see that couple? I don't know what it's called right now, but the old couple, they feed raccoons. And a lot of raccoons come just to get fed hot dogs.
That is so funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that you got to be able to say. You got to have a certain knack about it. I mean, I see other people who go on there, and I ran into a couple today that were out there in Los Angeles, in that area, and an older couple, and they're going around going to like Pioneer Chicken and Foster's Freeze, all the old school places,
Yeah.
They were like in Inglewood, and then like they're going all these places. It was just so awesome to see. They have that. They have that. The way to carry themselves on camera, and I know although those are edited because they're out and about, but I mean, a lot of times too. I think that it's better when it's, at least for what we do, just to give it to them straight. Without any editing. The only thing I do is I add the beginning and the end to my podcast or blog or whatever you want to call it. That's it.
I love your intro and outro. Yeah.
Thank you. I was thinking of changing it, but I kind of want to keep it there. I think it's cool. I don't know.
I feel like that's you. Like you own that. So I like it.
Yeah.
But.
Well, that's the other thing too. I own the music as well, so it works out.
That helps.
It works out
right?
for me too, so it's like, hey,
that definitely helps for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna check that one out. Rita Rich. Restream. Okay, I've never heard of that one.
Huh.
Check that out for
Look into
sure.
that.
But yeah, thank you. This was good, you guys. And I mean,
Yeah.
thanks to our wonderful chat. You guys are
Mhm.
amazing. You helped us kick this conversation off just natural.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
shout out to you guys. Cold
Yeah,
Pillow
no,
Cafe.
thank you.
Shout out to all of you. Strange Dave, Herb, 916. We got Raider
Yeah, more
Rich,
money and
Jungle
Mr.
Truckers.
Royal.
Yes.
And,
We got all of our JoJo AZ, Droops. Thank you guys. Everyone, those
yeah.
that I did not mention, I'm almost, yes, congrats, almost to 3K. Hope, you know what? Sarah, thank you.
Cool.
God will.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes,
God
sir.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won. Wish you the best.
Yes.
You know.
Make sure you guys subscribe to Two Face Entertainment as well. Then when Janice gets
Thank you.
her channel going, whoo, watch out. Dangerous.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Well, I'm probably going to do, like I said, another cooking live this week. So stay tuned for that. I'll put it in the comment section and look out for what Fred's going to be doing. You can always count on Denise having some fun family excursions on IG and sharing that with us on Tuesday nights. So you guys have blessed us tonight. Thank you.
Thanks.
Everyone in the chat. Yeah. Thank you guys. To my co-hosts, you guys are the best. Absolute best.
Thank you. Thank
Everyone
you.
in the chat, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you were here with us tonight.
Yes,
And
thank you all.
for that.
Yep.
We thank you for that. God bless you guys. So next Tuesday, same place, same time.
All right.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Bye, guys. Buenas
Have a good
noches.
one.